What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Little Kenny. Back with another video, another podcast. Over-exaggerated podcast today. We got another good one for you guys. You already know what it is. Look, I want to start it off this week. We had a lot of pandemonious things going on. Basketball is still rolling. You already know the NBA, college basketball has been going on. We're not talking about that yet, though. Not talking about Colorado just yet. At the moment, we're talking about none other than Ohio State, guys, because it seems like we're going into full stride as of right now. We had a late night game. Yeah, it was a little bit late. It was 7:30. My boy Cam was at the game. Cam, go ahead and share some of your experience that you had with the Buckeyes over the weekend. You were with your pops, if I'm not mistaken. Go ahead, let them
I
know a
sure
little bit
was
of
with
what happened.
Pops. Shout out to my Pops. I'm sure he'll catch the episode. It was his birthday game. He ended up copping the tickets and everything. He told me he wanted to hit the stadium with me again and all that. So we take a trip out there every year. This is our second time going this year. Cold night game, like you said. It was a little bit chilly out there, bro. Like, we got there, I want to say 8 in the morning. You feel me? Like, I thought I was going to be able to get away with just wearing a sweater. No, bro. I had to pull the coat out and everything, bro. So cool day though. You feel me? We had a good day. We ate at Buffalo Wild Wings, chilled, walked around. My dad's birthday. He met some people he was cooling with and everything.
Okay.
Got to the game, sat down. I was not expecting Ohio State to show out the way they did. Kyle McCord came out balling. Marvin Harrison was catching every pass that came his way. Travion looked good running the ball. Like, it was almost like they was waiting for me to show up again to go crazy. So I'm happy. It was definitely a fun game to be at. And shout out to my dad. Happy birthday, man. Love you. You already know what it is.
Hell yeah. No, man. I was asleep, unfortunately, during that game, man. It was a rough Saturday night for me. But shout out to the Buckeyes getting it done. I did watch the highlights. Marv out there making history. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Did have a hat trick. Had a rushing touchdown for the one time. Go ahead then. I mean, bro, like, you see things like that and you wonder, can this guy win the Heisman? Can he be the second receiver in the past 5 years to win it? And I think it's 5 years. Devontae Smith wasn't too long ago. I mean, like, bro,
Yeah.
I think if this game wasn't enough, the next 3 game stretch, he's just gonna have to keep doing what he's doing. Two touchdowns per game, 100 yards per game. I mean, they can't deny this man for too much longer. He's not about to stay another year to have another 1,000-yard season. So you do got to ask at some point, what more does the kid got to do?
That's true.
But moving forward to these next games, man, want to talk about some of them, not all of them this week. A lot of them, I do want to talk about most of the ranked teams we got. We got Louisville versus Virginia. Louisville, 9-1, 6-1 in the ACC, probably going to go up against Florida State. We were talking about that last week in the rankings. I mean, they're what, 10 now?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So they're 10. I mean, they're top 10 in the country college football rankings. They got just as much chance to make the playoffs as, any of these other teams. So shout out to Louisville. Been on the radar since about week 3 when they were undefeated going into that game against Notre Dame. So, and as of right now, when when we were talking about, Louisville, Kentucky, and Mizzou, I definitely didn't think that Louisville was going to live up to the hype. I would have thought I would have put my money with Kentucky and Mizzou first rather than Louisville. So to see them actually living up to the hype and, controlling their own destiny throughout each week, it's actually surprising. But, it's a good surprise. So
Facts.
what else we got? Man, Georgia, Ole Miss. Definitely thought this was going to be a lot closer of a game. It ended up being a blowout, 52-17. Just another Carson Beck, Glad McConkey show. But it was really K. Milton, the running back, out there doing his thing.
The
What do you
backup
got to
running
say
back
about?
too.
Yeah, that's a fact. What do you got to say about Ole Miss, man, going down like that?
They did just have the crazy audio come out. Coach Kiffin going at the player because of him not showing up to practice and everything. So they did have something in the back of their minds, maybe, leading up into the week, reporters asking them
Mm-hmm.
about stupid things that aren't about Georgia. But I'm a little bit frustrated because on the low, I kind of want Ole Miss to be good with Lane Kiffin, and
Facts.
good enough to beat Kirby and Nick Saban. Like, I just feel like every single year, Ole Miss has a team that is talented. They're right there on the radar. They get 8, 9 wins in the SEC every year, but then they run into Alabama or they run into Georgia, and they take that inevitable loss that they take, and then it's just kind of coasting for the rest of the year from there. So I'm not too mad at Lane Kiffin. Like, don't fire the guy, but it is just kind of like, at some point we gotta get the team in here that's good enough to hang with Georgia and Alabama, because these last few teams just, it feels like we haven't even had a chance, honestly. And we've gotten close to Alabama, but like Georgia just seems like they're further in and further in the gap every single season. So Lane Kiffin, you gotta get back on that recruiting trail, bro. Get you some D linemen, get you some O linemen. The receivers and the quarterbacks is cool, but at
Yeah.
some point we got to get that line of scrimmage right.
No, most definitely. I was gonna say, I mean, they're not firing Lane, but I don't know if you've seen they did end up firing Jimbo Fisher today. Um, one of the biggest one of the biggest payouts in college football history for a coach. To be exact, it was 76.3 million or something like that. And that's like what it was, almost like, not even to over exaggerate, like 60 million difference in payouts. Might have been at least 50 million in payouts. Like the before that was like 20, then it was 13, and then like it just gets lower than that. So like
I'm about to
76
just
million
Yeah, I'm about to just become a college coach and then just do bad so I can get
suck.
fired and get my 76 million right away, because that's insane, bro. That's got to be the best news ever, bro. Any job to get fired from, like, to know you got 76 coming on the back end, like, fuck it, give me my
Yeah.
76.
Guaranteed. You're already
That is
old.
nuts.
You're already 40 plus.
But I
You don't
mean,
got to do shit.
it does suck, bro, because Jimbo just got his first super duper good recruiting class in there last year. He doesn't have a lot of time to get it at. Like, they did so bad last year. It was like he was in the hot seat. Like, you had to come in this
Facts.
year and get some wins that you weren't supposed to get. You keep taking loss after loss and battling with teams that you ain't supposed to battle with, bro. At some point, them higher ups at them schools, but they want to win. Like, bro, they putting money into the team. You feel me? They popping out every Saturday. They trying to get lit before the game. When we all here, we ready to be the 12th
Mm-hmm.
man. We losing. Like, get this guy out of here, bro. Who's next? So I thought it was crazy. I thought they was gonna give Jimbo a little bit more time, but hey, sometimes I'll have you looking like that the dang genie dude off of Princess and the Frog. I need a little more time. Nope, bro. It's over with.
Nah, it does suck for Jimbo, but I mean, honestly, it's about time we start firing some of the Saban disciples. If you can't win the big game, you gotta go. And not even just that. Like, I mean, like, what is A&M this year? Like 4-4, 4-5 now.
Yeah, hovering right around there.
So it's been bad for a few weeks, and then I can only imagine what's been going on in that locker room, and just not the mockery. I'm not gonna say the mockery he made at the SEC conference this year, like, or at their little conference. You know what I mean? That they have when they
Yep.
link up. But when him and Saban were arguing, it just doesn't look good. When you're almost complaining he's cheating, and then you're not even doing good after this year. So it's just,
That's a
hey,
dead fact. The last thing I say is Texas A&M had all them recruits. They got a whole bunch of D linemen, offensive linemen. It's about to be open season for all these schools for the transfer portal, bro.
come
Like, they're
on.
about to be sending. You feel me? We're about to be sending our Connor Stallions out to Texas A&M to go get them boys to come to our schools. Like, that's a crazy dynamic that I feel like people ain't really paying attention to right now. Like, I'm definitely want to know where them offensive linemen and defensive linemen end up going, because you don't just get those in college football just available.
Mm.
So, oh God, it's definitely a crazy situation, bro. Like, Texas A&M, you obviously you got to fire him. Like, he has underperformed, but then again, it's like, at what cost? Like, you're about to lose every recruit he just had that wanted to come play for him. So we'll see how it all pans out for sure.
Not lying. Next, speaking of Stallions, got Michigan versus Penn State. Man, Penn State went there, fought hard. Only two losses this year are against Ohio State and Michigan, which I mean is typical of Penn State. So they held Drew Aller to 70 yards through the air. Um, you know, I knew
Wow.
Drew was gonna go. I knew Drew was gonna go under, but that's a tough one. And they ended up beating Penn State, and they ran the ball 32 straight times and a 24-15 lead win, which was probably the closest margin of like game Michigan has had ever since the TCU game. So
hmm Uh, can we put James Franklin on the hot seat? Or does he do too good enough against the rest of the field that no matter how many times he loses against Michigan and Ohio State, he just kind of has the, well, you're our
mm,
guy syndrome going on over there?
who else are y'all gonna get? I mean, go get somebody else. I'm James. Y'all
That's what I'm
still owe
saying.
me 30 million.
That's true. But at some point, bro, like, it's kind of almost the same thing with Lane Kiffin. Like, and there's the SEC, so it's a little bit different. But like Penn State, the whole cheating scandal is going on, so maybe it's a little bit less valuable than what it was. But bro, like Michigan literally kind of jumped the line in Penn State. It feels like for the Big Ten, like kind of felt
Mm.
like we were beating up on Michigan all those years, and Penn State was just slowly getting closer to us with Saquon Barkley's and Trace McSorley's, and then it's like boom, Michigan came out of nowhere and beat us. If you're Penn State, it's kind of like in that moment you kind of see like, oh shit, Michigan just did it. Like we're here. We got to get our next win over Ohio State or Michigan within the next 2 years. We got to take the Big Ten over. And it's like these
Yeah.
past 2 years they haven't even gotten close. Feels like they're getting further. So it's like James Franklin. I'm not. I don't really care. I'm not a Penn State fan. I like beating up on you every other year, bro. But like at some point, dog, like Penn State has to move on from that, bro. Like they have the atmosphere out there, the Penn State whiteout. They got all the facilities you could possibly want. Like it just comes down to recruiting and game coaching decisions. I mean, he just hasn't
He
gotten that big win yet.
he is locked into a 10-year deal. He signed a new deal in 2021. It's signed all the way through 2031. Base salary was about $500,000. Additional salary, the supplemental pay is about 6 million, 6.5 million, with a retention bonus of $500,000. So it's about 7 million a year, which does put him in the top 10 for coaches getting paid per year. His full contract is about 82 million. So like we're only 2 years into that. So like you do the math. If you want to cut him off if you want, like you're gonna be paying another, like I said, that'll be another 76 down the fucking drain. Like
I'm just saying, okay,
Nick's
let's say we get all the way through 2031 and we pay him that last dollar. And how many times have we beaten Penn State and Michigan in that 10 years? And I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, that's a real genuine question. Like, for the outlook right
okay.
now, it's not looking good for Penn State to beat them at all. Like,
7 more years or 8 more years of Franklin. We'll say seven more seasons of Franklin after this one is over. He gets okay. He might not even win a natty. Like, oh no, because there's gonna no. There's gonna be expanded playoff. That's why you book him that long, because
uh,
there's gonna be expanded playoff. So when you're going 10-2 with an expanded playoff,
it's totally
and
different.
yeah, it's totally different. And the money okay. So look,
uh,
with the new Big Ten, you give him 2 years in the new Big Ten. If he gets raped next year by USC and UCLA,
oh, God.
hot seat. Then then the next year, right?
Right.
The next year after that, if it's just bad again, then we can get rid of him, because that's 4 losses, because you're already going to
Uh,
lose to Ohio State and Michigan most likely. Then if you're losing to USC and UCLA, who the fuck are you going to beat? Wisconsin all year? Like Nebraska's, Maryland's? If they're still even
Wisconsin.
in there, I'm pretty sure they are. I'm just talking shit, but I'm just saying, like, those are the things then Penn State would look at 2 years from now. It's 2025, 6 years. That 82 million, or that 82 million overall, that 76 million that we're about to cut them for, it would be cut down to like maybe 50
Mm.
million or something. So like now it's the second biggest cutoff. But when you think about it, it's like, okay, James Franklin has been there for a while. He deserves his money. It's not like we're cutting him off because he sucks, but it's because he's bad now. But at the same time, he could just be just as good, still only take 2 losses, get to the playoff, but then no one knows how that expanded playoff is going to be. Like Penn State could be the first ones to win it. And James Franklin is secured all the way up until 35. Like,
I mean, you
or at
spit
least
straight facts, bro. I don't know, bro. I feel I'm not saying fire him tonight or tomorrow and have to pay him 70 million on the back end, bro. I get it, but like, bro, it is
because
just like, okay, if we get to 2027 and we still haven't found a way to get this Big Ten, like, at least get our side of the Big Ten. I understand Michigan and Ohio State are on our side of the Big Ten, but bro, like, at some point you got to hit that window.
look at him. That's who you want to
That's not
fire, bro?
intimidating. That's not intimidating, bro.
Like, bro, come
And I'm
on,
not
bro.
gonna
We
cap.
don't
The
need,
Penn State Nike Tech is hard. Like, that's hard. But bro, you're not living up to that, bro. We need to put somebody else in that Penn State Nike Tech, bro. For real. For real.
like, who, Urban? Because that's what the rumors are trying to say.
Don't.
Like, bro, y'all don't.
I mean, Jimbo Fisher, like,
Uh,
Jimbo's available. Get one guy out. Pay him his 70. Hire Jimbo for another 50.
look,
See if Jimbo can
I'll
figure
show.
it all out, bro.
I'll show you. First of all, y'all sleep because the dude who might win the Natty this year is getting literally paid the least amount in college football right now.
Mm. Mm.
Norvell,
Wow.
$3.25 million. I don't even know who Scott Satterfield is or where he coaches.
That's what happens when you don't hire Dion. You can pay a weak
Or
nigga to come in there and almost get to the ship.
wow. Okay. Does Dion have the same success as Mike Norvell is having? Because it would be the Shador Travis Hunter. It would be the Shador Travis Hunter show, not the Keon Coleman Jordan Travis show. So
A lot more of those kids that went to Florida and Miami, you feel me? Them kids would have been so happy to sign with Florida State and go play for Coach Dion there. Like,
wow.
and that's not even, you
I
feel me? I'm not
okay.
here. I'm just saying, as a
I
Florida
believe
kid,
that. I
those are the
believe
three
that.
schools, bro. Like, if you get a prime time, bro, like, I'm going to coach. I'm going to Florida State. I'm sorry.
So you
That's just me.
saying Dion in a warm weather facility could probably get whatever recruit he really wanted, is what you're saying.
Bro, he's selling out 11:30 p.m. start games in Colorado right now, bro. Eastern time.
Come
Bro,
on,
like, he
bro. Y'all act
really.
like Dorado ain't that quiet out there, bro. They just needed a face. Like, wow.
They did need a
But
phase. That's true. It was they did have an underrated atmosphere. So come on, bro. It's prime.
man, look, I just want to show the coaches getting paid out there real quick before I move on to the next few games. Nick Saban 10.7, Kirby Smart 10.25, Brian Kelly 9.5, Mel Tucker 9.5, Ryan Day 9.5, Jimbo Fisher 9, Mike Gundy 7.5, James Franklin 7.5, Jim Harbaugh. This is with a pay cut 750 or
Sheesh.
7,050. Kirk Fern, where does he coach, bro? Who is that?
Who?
Kirk. Oh, that's the Iowa coach? Okay, Iowa coach only makes about 7 mil.
He's been out there for a minute though. He deserves that.
It's probably worth it.
Thought that was a Baylor coach or something.
Nah. Chip Kelly only gets 5.6. Brian Harsin. Where you at, Harsin? Auburn? Auburn, come on. Y'all can pull out a little bit more cash for Harsin out
No,
there.
not for Harsin.
And Mac, North Carolina. Bro, no, Mac. Actually, you deserve all 5 of what the fuck you are getting because putting together an offense like that is taking stupid losses, that's how you earn $5 million. And And Satterfield is actually the coach of Cincy. Wow.
Wow.
They rolled out the bank for Satterfield.
Like, wow. All right.
There you have it, folks. That's the top 10 coaches getting paid out here, man. Fire James Franklin. You heard it here first. Moving forward, someone who probably should be fired, probably someone who should have never got hired. Cristobal and the Miami Hurricanes taking on Florida State, getting taken out. It was 27-20. It was a good game. They actually held Jordan Travis pretty low. They had a Tyler Van Dyke, had a 100-yard receiver out there, 153 yards to be exact.
Dang.
But it was Keon Coleman doing it all out there with a punt return and a touchdown catch in the same drive. No, he had a 57-yard punt return and a touchdown catch in the same drive. Keon, one of my favorite players. He's a transfer. A lot of guys sleep on him. And honestly, it's only because I think there is a few other electric receivers out there in LSU or Oregon. So you don't always look to the Florida State receivers because sometimes, like I said, I mean, he had a good day on that punt return, but as far as his receiving went for that day, it was 4 for 24. But he's normally an 80-yard receiver guy. But Florida State just has so many other stars that sometimes you can get undershadowed or overshadowed.
Tough loss, definitely for Miami. You do got to give Mario Cristobal some time to build his program, but it is kind of getting to the point where it's like, yo, how much time you need, and it doesn't happen overnight. But you do want to see results faster than what they're getting them right now. So, I mean, Florida State is the best team in the ACC. I ain't gonna play, but same time, Miami is literally in Florida as well. Miami is probably more of a location than Tallahassee. Definitely more of a location than Tallahassee. Miami has just as good facilities. Miami has even more of a history than Florida State has, if you really want to argue it. Miami has the rivalry with Florida State that everybody talks about if you're from down there in Florida. So it's just at some point, bro, like Florida State is doing all this and they didn't hire Dion. They didn't have to go out and get a face. Like y'all went out of your way to go grab this guy from Oregon who built a program out there already because you seen he can do it, and you gave him a lot of money. And to be quite frank, he hasn't really gotten the class in there. Tyler Van Dyke's cool. De'Aaron King is cool. You haven't really had the quarterback yet. There hasn't really even been a star from the offense on any of these teams. At some point, bro, I'm not saying just put every coach on the hot seat, but like we are starting to get to that point in coaches' tenures where we are starting to look like, all right, where are the results that we hired you for? You guys got money. Like you just went down the top 10, and I don't think a single one of them coaches was making under $2 million. So,
Hell no.
what the fuck are we paying y'all for? Like somebody has to start making this money, start hitting for something.
They about to roll out a Brinks truck for Norvell. $3 million, that's it. They're gonna have to give me a signing bonus. Man, but moving forward, a guy that's gonna be backing up the Brink truck next year in the NFL, Michael Penix Jr., taking out Utah 10-0, 2-3 to go. Out here doing it big. 332 yards, 2 touchdowns. Wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? I was going to say it's just a typical Penix game. You know what I mean? Didn't have to do too much. Utah, they tried to give them a fight in the second quarter. Utah scored 21 in the second quarter, but in that second half, they went scoreless. So Washington showing that they honestly don't have a bad defense. That's a tough Utah team. I think their only losses were to Oregon, Washington. They had another loss in there somewhere. So it really came. Oh yeah, they lost to Oregon State too. So they really didn't lose to anybody they wasn't supposed to lose to. They beat Dion, or not Dion. They beat Caleb. That's what I meant to say. They still got to play Dion.
Oh.
But I mean, they beat Caleb Williams, beat a few other teams in the Pac-12. So I mean, Utah, It sucks to see them going down like that. Cam Rising hasn't been healthy all season. Probably, like you said, shouldn't even come back at this point. Might as well just save it for the Senior Bowl, or I don't know, go to the league, bro. You got it at this point. I think he's got enough film on camera. I don't think he necessarily needs to play. I think he might be losing some NIL money just not playing, but I mean that's just comes with injuries, you know.
Yeah, that Pac-12 race only gets wilder and wilder and wilder and wilder and wilder. I ain't gonna lie. But Michael Penix Jr. I think I seen a few mock drafts where he was still floating around the top of the second round. He still kind of hasn't broken that first round plane yet. I'm sure with the combine and everything, and once these teams start really getting a chance to look at his profile and stuff, somebody will take him in that first round late. But
Better.
outside of that, Washington with another dub, rolling. Pretty sure they're ranked number 5. Waiting on one of those top 4 teams to lose. I thought it was going to be Florida State way earlier in the season. Obviously, the committee is kind of telling us if Michigan and whatever team out of Ohio State Michigan loses, we're probably going to float Washington right into there that week for the Pac-12 championship, and whoever wins that game is going to the playoff. So I think I still want to roll with Michael Penix Jr. I know a lot of people are starting to give the torch back to Oregon and saying that they're the better all around team now that a little bit more of the years gone by. I just feel like, well, when you have a quarterback that's this hot in a passing game that's this hot, like the receivers are on fire, the running game could be a little bit better, the defense could be a little bit better. But like when you know you have that in the backfield, a Heisman
Mm-hmm.
contender, like, it's just hard to stop, especially in big games. So I expect to see Michael Penix Jr. get to the playoffs. Washington, like I really expect. Hopefully, they don't take no damn late season blunder and ruin a Cinderella season or some stupid shit. But they look good right now. Offensive line, defensive line could be a little bit better. But other than that, bro, like literally, I see them sweeping that Big 12, Pac-12 championship, getting their first little playoff appearance and everything, and having a chance to beat either Georgia, Ohio State, or Michigan, one of the three.
Man, even Cinderella had to go home when the clock struck midnight. So gotta be ready, Mike. Moving forward, man, we got USC versus Oregon. Oregon taking them out in just perfect fashion almost. Bo Nix, 412 yards, 4 touchdowns. Bucky Irvin, 19 carries for 118 yards. Troy Franklin, 2 receptions, 147 yards, and a touchdown. Jesus, 2 receptions? Troy shouldn't have. Tez had 7 receptions for 126 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Jeez.
Them boys were eating out there, man. Uh, Caleb Williams gave it all. This was what I was talking about. Cam's stat line like this. He had 8 carries, negative 11 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and his longest was 8. So like, uh, shit happens, man. Then they had Caleb Williams, 19 for 34, 291 with 1 touchdown, man. QBR of 68.1. The kid has just had a tough couple of weeks.
Yep.
I mean, honestly,
Oregon
it's
balling.
honestly been a bad month for the kid.
Come on. Nah, Caleb, we've gone the past 3 shows talking about the underachieving that USC has done this season. So I'm not even going to get all on them. I'm starting to kind of wonder how generational this kid's going to be. Like, and I hate to do him like that. He came into Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley left the school they went to and pulled half the school with him to a USC. Like, you don't just transfer portal your dynasty and everything you got going on over to another school and just everything stays intact. So, bro, like
Mm.
this is by far the roughest patch in Lincoln Riley's career. Caleb Williams just had to be a part of it. I'm sure Caleb Williams will go to the NFL to the next level and be great because of this year. But man, like USC, like you guys made a huge investment into this coach. You guys made a huge investment into this culture. Obviously, it's been a long time since USC has even been able to do any of this because all the sanctions they had from the Reggie Bush era and shit. But like it is at some point you got to start looking like, okay, like if this guy isn't going to be good enough to compete with Utah, like if we're still
Mm-hmm.
trying to beat Utah and we got Oregon and Washington about to make the college football playoff. Like even we're supposed to be that team. Like we were the team that was projected to win the Pac-12. We were the team that was supposed to be in the college football playoff discussion. Some people had us being the best team in the nation this year. Like
Facts.
at some point, but this shit has to start sticking. And it's Lincoln Riley every single season. Even at Oklahoma, when he had Spencer Rattler, that team underperformed like hell, and they had to throw Caleb Williams in there and find out that he was Caleb Williams. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Like at some point, bro, Link results got to start showing, bro, way differently. Because it's cool when you put up 55 points against Norfolk State. Like, cool. Anybody can do that, bro. Colorado can do that. Bro, when you come out here against Utah, Oregon, Washington, and you get your teeth kicked in and you look like you never coached a game in your life, makes people wonder why you get this whole, oh, he's such a great coach rap. You're just a great offensive mind. That's it. So that's the end of my rant. Forgive me, but it's frustrating watching a team with all that talent underachieve.
Facts, man. Few more key games I want to go over before it's too late. Look, Texas, TCU, Texas, almost losing another big one, bruh. Another battle of Texas was
Texas.
going out there against TCU. The score ended up being 29-26, and they had Quinn Ewers back this time. So I don't know what happened. It was definitely the
Oh,
Xavier Worthy game, though. He went out there. He won me a little bit of money. He had 10 receptions for 137 yards. Was out there doing his thing for the most part, man. But I don't know. Texas, a little shaky still through and through.
hell
Scraping
yeah.
by, though. Ninth. Where are they ranked right now?
I think ninth. No, seventh.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. Seventh in the country.
Which it's not terrible. I mean, you don't control your own destiny in any sense of the words, but at the same time, if those teams up there start losing and shit goes super crazy and well, you can't hope on Penn State beating Michigan anymore. But basically,
Mm-hmm.
Michigan beats Ohio State, and then Oregon beats Washington. That will kind of give you a super duper good chance if you sweep the table and get your payback on. It's not even going to be Oklahoma. So it's still a tough road. I wouldn't bet my money on Texas being a playoff team, but it is a good value play if you're looking for somebody who might sneak their way in there in them last 2-3 weeks. So, but
Mm.
other than that, bro, Quinn Ewers, welcome back. You shouldn't have left Ohio State, buddy. We're undefeated with with Honda McCord, and you could be throwing the Maserati Marv, but you chose Xavier Worthy. Like, hey, 10 catches, 100 and however many yards, and 2 touchdowns is cool. My boy Marv, about to win the Heisman. My boy
Wow.
Emeka Buka, he just came back from injury. He's having a tough year right now, but you feel me? He's Carnell Tate, Xavier Johnson. We got weapons all over the place. And you decided to come down here for this, to duke it out with TCU, a team that Coach Prime beat week one. It is what it is, bro. You cut the mullet off, and this is what you get.
Come on, bro. I got deeper with my faith, and this is what happens. Look,
Come on.
Alabama, Kentucky, man. Milrow. You just somehow find a way to just take all my money. Somehow the kid goes off for 6 touchdowns, but doesn't prop at all. Doesn't hit either one of his props. The kid had 234 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. The QBR was a 94.5. But then he went on to have 8 carries, 36 yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns for a historic
Jeez.
day of 6 touchdowns. Um,
Wow.
I definitely thought Devin Leary and the Wildcats was going to go out there and give a better day. You know, Ray Davis, he still had 2 on the ground, but a pedestrian 26 yards. That's probably the lowest Ray's ever had in his career. So this Alabama team, when you see stats like that, it does kind of scare you and make you wonder what is Milrow and what is the Alabama defense, what is this team? Because week in and week out, they're obviously a team who's already taken their loss, but like they don't seem so striking on paper, but then when you watch the games, they end up just taking teams out. They start winning by these ridiculous margins, especially the past few weeks. That Tennessee game, the LSU game, and this Kentucky game. It's just like Nick Saban has shown, if you thought I was done, I'm not. But I just don't see how far this team can go. They've got 2 more games left. Everyone's saying they control their destiny. Auburn, definitely the trap game of their lives. I forget what it's called, the Iron Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they got the
Yep.
Iron Bowl next week. They've already taken a loss to Texas, and then they got Georgia. So I don't know where Alabama lies in all this. They've secured the West for sure, especially with this last Ole Miss loss. So now it's just, how bad do they want it? Is Jalen Milroe and this plethora of names they've got on defense and offense, Kool-Aid, McKinstry, are they good enough to get back to the playoff? Are they even better than an Oregon or a Washington? Because if you ask me, I don't think they're better than one of those teams. They're better than one. They're not better than the other. And you can pick your poison. And then once we get to the top 4 teams and pushing one of the teams out, I don't see where they fit in. And I'll turn it over to you
Well,
after that.
that game after that game against Georgia is going to tell us everything everybody wants to know about this new and improved Alabama since the Texas game. They got to win that game. Like the Iron Bowl, they should beat Auburn. I'm sure they'll hang with them just because it's a rivalry, but they should beat them. The game against Georgia, like Georgia's not as stacked. Excuse me, Georgia's not as stacked on defense. They're for sure not as stacked without Brock Bowers on offense right now. Like they gotta get in there, get that win, whether it's Jalen Milroe throwing the ball, running the ball, whatever it takes. Because both those teams play good complementary football. The one thing about Alabama's football team right now is even before, like Jalen Milroe would be Mac Jones at quarterback. You know, Mac Jones, he's not doing too great in the NFL. People are wondering should he get his spot taken. He wasn't ever really uberly great in college. He just made the right play. But when you're
Mm-hmm.
making the right play and the person catching it is Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle, and you're handing it off to Najee Harris, yeah, it's pretty easy to keep your offense on schedule and just be average Mac Jones when you got all that around you. Now, when you're Jalen Milroe, I can't even name Alabama players right now because none of them are going to be first round draft picks. Like, the only first round draft pick that Alabama arguably has on their team right now is Kool-Aid McKinstry and maybe the other DB. That's it.
Yeah.
They're a defensive laden team, and that offense doesn't have the stars that they normally have. So, can they beat Georgia? Yeah, it's just the matter of even the year where they got Georgia in the SEC championship and lost to them in the Natty. They had Jamison Williams, a first round wide receiver. You know what I mean? So they got to figure something. And they had Bryce Young, a goddamn first overall pick. But either way, they got to figure something out on offense. Like, it's cool, your defense playing complimentary football. You got Jalen Milroe having historic days and good, but like it looks bad. And a lot of people are comparing you to like what Ken just did, Florida State, Oregon, Washington, Ohio State. We're trying to see where we're putting you, and it's hard to really say y'all would beat Texas again if you really want me to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So, the Crimson Tide might figure it out. They might beat Georgia, and they, like I said at the one show, the one day they might sneak their way back in there, make the bet now. But if you're skeptical with your money, I understand. That team is just all around weird, like you said.
Weird as hell, man. Next, we got Oregon State taking out Stanford. Just wanted to talk about them. DJU doing it big, 62-17. It was Damian Martinez though with 4 touchdowns. Oregon State showing why they're definitely going to be a good bowl game to watch at the end of the season. Definitely a good team all year round, but obviously with the 2 big losses they had, it just was never going to be anything special. But shout out to DJU for still doing what he needed to do and not just folding after those 2 losses.
Bro,
Could have been bad.
One time, clap it up for DJU real quick. I'll be fast, bro. Say a damn near every show, bro. Leave Clemson. Everybody was calling you trash, dragging your name through the mud all the off seasons, blah, 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 blah. To be where we're at today, Clemson is, I don't even know if they're ranked. Dabo Sweeney hasn't been heard from since he lost to Florida State. And like DJU quietly is hovering right there with a top 10 team with Oregon State.
Yeah.
To anybody out there going through a rough time, bro, man, stay the course. You feel me? Don't give up, bro. I'm not saying DJU is the story to look up to, bro, but bro, like, you feel me? They can hate on you all for a whole year and then boom, bro, it'll be your shot in a whole different place. Sometimes all you need is a change of scenery. That's all it is. Not you. It's the environment sometimes, bro. Keep grinding, everybody out there, bro. DJU, shout outs to you. You balling this year, dog. Oregon State. I don't know if y'all destiny's in y'all own hands, but hey, this is a nice season to have, bro. They don't get this a lot, so I'm sure they enjoying it out there and all the way in the tip of the universe out there in Oregon.
Man, moving forward, Tennessee getting taken out by Mizzou. It was 13-14, definitely one of those little trap games you think could happen. Mizzou showing why they're still one of the best teams in the SEC. Cody Schrader, though, really just want to talk about this kid real quick. 35 carries, 205 yards on the ground, 1 touchdown, but then 5 receptions for 116 yards through the air. Schrader is different. I was going to put a little bit of money on him this week. Didn't know how to bet it. Next week, I definitely know how to put it on him because, bro, the kid, a school like Mizzou, I'm not going to call it a small school, but it's not the biggest school. I mean, and to be putting up numbers like that just subtly in the SEC, that's definitely NFL caliber. Gotta be, right? Gotta be. So let's see what grade he's in.
That's
Senior.
almost a whole game plan,
it for
bro.
Cody.
That is literally over 350 yards of offense to one person. Like, literally the whole game plan. That's wild.
He's a beast. Another highlight out there, we got Dylan Gabriel was taking out West Virginia as he probably should. Bouncing back, though, from the rough couple of weeks. He had 423 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Man.
He might have had one. He might have had one on the ground as well.
Crazy day. Sucks that it comes so late.
Sorry. He had 3 on the ground. So while Jalen Milroe had 6 Yeah.
He had an 8 touchdown day.
Yes.
I mean, you would love to throw a couple of those touchdowns in the other games he just lost, for sure. But, I mean, Dylan Gabriel is a good-ass quarterback. Don't get me. That's definitely somebody that gets a combine shot, I hope. I don't even know how young he is. But either way, cool season for Oklahoma. You beat Texas after getting smashed last year. You had the 15 minutes of fame, and then you lost. Oh, God. It's tough. Build the program. He's a senior? Yeah, never mind. Not going to the league. Brent Venables.
Hold on. Let me read the stats before you, bro. Because
He's going to be a 6th year, bro. He might stay.
I'm 3,000 yards deep, 25 touchdowns, and 5 interceptions, bro. I'm going.
No, you're not.
I'm 8-2.
You're in the Big 12.
Lost to Oklahoma State and Kentucky. Or Kansas, my bad.
That's so uberly ass.
We beat Texas.
Kansas? That's okay. There's not a lot of players in the NFL that went to Kansas. Like, the step up is going to be so – that's what I'm saying, bro. You'll get the combine shot. You might get picked up. Whoever takes a shot with Dylan Gabriel is not thinking about the future. I'm sorry, bro. Like,
wow. That statement is so – you're going to – Dylan's going to be the one.
He might be maybe a little bit better than Desmond Ridder. Maybe. Coming in. Maybe.
What? No way. He'll at least be like Mac Jones rookie year level. Like, bro, that was still a good year for Mac. Mac was a Pro Bowler. Like, bro.
No.
Like, come on now.
We'll see how it goes, bro.
All right. LSU taking out Florida though, 52-35. Jaden Daniels. Jesus fucking Christ. I can't keep reading these stats, bro. 372 yards, 3 touchdowns. But then I also had 12 carries for 234 yards and 2 touchdowns.
What? 500 yards on
Yeah.
5 touchdowns.
And I had 200-yard receivers that day, and Malik and BTJ, Brian Thomas
And
Jr., they each had 6 receptions. 150 for Brian, 130 for Malik. Bro, these guys are ridiculous.
yeah, that is
Trevor
ridiculous.
Etienne did have a hat trick, though. 18 carries, 99 yards, 3 touchdowns. Okay, Trevor.
Couldn't get to 100.
But I almost didn't even look at that side. Only reason I even read that stat was because of the ETN name, because Daniels
I mean,
and them are out there doing it.
that's the thing with LSU, bro, is they literally high powered offensively. Like against Arkansas, they had a quarter where I was watching that game. It felt like Jaden Daniels just hitting every single deep shot down the field. Pretty sure Ole Miss was a shootout. Like, but they just once they get to that point where they know they gotta really play for it, it's like, bro, that offense can go crazy. Because when they go up against that better defense with Kool-Aid McKinstry's against Alabama's and stuff, or you feel me, they just Texas A&M's, they kind of lull and they play down to that level. And it's harder to score against those defenses. Obviously, you're not gonna pop that big play every other play on them. But at the same time, bro, like the step down at LSU that they take is annoying just because like they're also a program that's literally right there. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're one huge game away from taking over the SEC, at least their side of it, and competing with Georgia and taking it away from Alabama. But it's just like every single year they lose 2 games or 3 games, and then the one game that they do win that would be the staple win doesn't matter because they're already out of the race. So, shots to LSU. Hopefully, Jaden Daniels is gonna. I'm sure he'll get the invite to New York. He might fuck around and win that bitch. He keeps having stat lines like that, but I'm praying on Marvin either way.
All right, man. I'm going to wrap it up. Kind of. There's so many more other things I want to talk about real fast. Look, listen. One, just real quick answer, yes or no. Is Jaden Daniels undoubtedly the Heisman after putting up 234 on the ground?
No.
All right, folks, you got to do more than that. Arizona, this is a really good Arizona team. Like, if you would have told me at the beginning of the year, I would have said no. I don't care what their quarterback's name is. But Fafita, right? Is it Dylan or Diego? Diego Pavia, Dylan Fafita, right?
Oh my god, yeah, bro, you're right, bro.
Okay. So Dylan Fafita takes out the hood 34-31, bro. And like,
Oh, he wasn't supposed to do that. I wouldn't even bet on that game this week. I was too late.
like the kid is just like Cam tried to put me on to him early too. His name's Noah. It's not Dylan. It's Noah.
Yeah, my
It's
bad. I knew that.
214.
Noah Fafita.
The kid is
214. That's it.
crazy with 2 tutties. Yeah, nothing
What does
too
Shador
crazy.
have?
Didn't have to do. Shador had 262 for two tutties. It was really
That's
Jonah Coleman
nothing.
out there running all over the hood, and then Shador did have a rushing touchdown as well.
Okay, so he put up 3 on the day. Dang, that's messed up. Uh, Colorado. Uh, I feel like, and this is just me. Obviously, this is cliche and it's kind of going with the narrative to just say something for clicks or whatever. But bro, like before that game against before that game against Oregon, they were playing with actual heart. Like the swagger was one thing, they believed in themselves, but like Just feel like, bro, that day they walked into that Colorado stadium, like they just believed in themselves ultimately. Like they believed in everything ESPN was saying. They believed in all the hype. They believed in all the betting world analytics and everything that was going on. And I don't know. I just feel like they filled their heads up a little bit and they took that loss. And ever since, bro, like they have not played at the actual level this team is capable of. Like
Mm.
they just forgot they had a little bit more to build. And it's like now they're trying to just, well, we're not what we thought we were. So let's just be the team that goes out there and loses to Stanford and Arizona. Like they're better than both those teams. Like I genuinely believe that. Even though their defense is the worst run defense since God created football, bro. But even still to me, like you got Travis Hunter, you got Shador, you got Jimmy Horn, you got Xavier Weaver, you got my boy Marvin Ham. I'm not saying he's a dog, but I'm just saying I know him. But bro, you got names out there, dude. Like put
Oh
them
yeah.
in position to win games. It's like Fafita, he didn't go out there and have a master class, bro. But like, bro, I watched Fafita choke against USC. I watched Fafita not pull it off against a few other teams, dude. Like it's frustrating that Colorado kind of this last half of the year they could have got to maybe 7, 8 wins and really did see a good
Mm-hmm.
bowl game. And not been in the Duke's Mayo Bowl, and like now we might not even see that. It's over. Like, don't laugh, bro. It's not funny.
It's over, brother. Uh, that shit is hilarious. Nah, you're right, bro. It's done. They're done. Nah, but I did wanna pull this up, man. Uh I'm going through the rest of the stats and stuff. Tulane, they did get a dub, 9-1, 6-0 in the American Conference. Probably the best fucking Tulane season ever. They had
Green
a guy
Wave.
take. They had a guy. If you see it right here, Sherdo Shedro. Excuse me, Shedro Lewis takes it 100 yards on the kickoff to the house for Tulane. I just wanted to show this up real quick. Shedro,
It should
no
dro, bro.
audio.
Should dro
Shedro.
Lewis.
Them jerseys are hard. I'm not gonna lie.
I told you Tulane's jerseys is hard. You tried to hate on them in 1 week.
He just cut up. They look like North Carolina, but with the green wave on there, that's what makes it tough because you can
Ish.
tell. Oh my God. Broke like two defenders, and then for the guys that aren't watching, just people watching the audio, it was just literally, I don't even think he went touch. Yep. One guy, the kicker got a hand on his leg, and then that was it, y'all. Lewis
I
was
might
down the
get the Tulane
sideline.
jersey.
I like that. But yeah, man, I wanted to pull that up real quick just so y'all can see. Going over this real quick, I'm gonna just run through these real fast. Iowa shut out Rutgers. Greg fucking Schiano. Wow.
Tough.
Um,
Good
really
defense,
tough
though.
for sure. No, Iowa does have a dope ass defense. I'm pretty sure the over under was 22, or it might have been 22 and a half. So Iowa still hasn't covered a fucking game all year, or still hasn't gone over again. I think they've covered, they just haven't gone over. So
That's crazy. That's hilarious.
um
Lock for
like I
the
said,
under.
Tulane beats Tulsa, Battle of the T's. Um, North Carolina skims away with a dub against Duke. It's crazy because Drake May still putting up 342 yards, one touchdown, and interception. Amarion Hampton, 31 carries, 169 yards, one touchdown. Tez Walker, 7 receptions, 162 yards. Still, for the fourth week in a row, it's been a whole month, have not been able to bet on them. I'm a little upset. Week after week, I think the betting world just
Why not?
understood, because Cuzzo, I would have put 100 on that stat line 4 weeks in a row, and who knows how much money I'd have right now. So who knows? Like, I promise you that has to be the direct reason, because these guys are just automatic. They're an ACC team. They're too automatic for a big school. Like, way too automatic.
They're just
They
not on
don't
that.
care. They just, I mean, you could have bet on the Duke versus North Carolina money line, but not the player props. So whole month straight. I don't know if my account is locked. I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if
I mean,
y'all have been able to bet.
they could just put their over under as high as hell. It's not like you feel me. But you're right though. That definitely has to be the reason.
True. I mean, yeah, like I mean, it's just hard to set the line. Like, I mean, but
Yeah.
there's guys out there that have their lines at 100 yards, but I think just with such a big school, putting them at 100 yards week in and week out is just like,
I mean, when a
it's
Marion Hampton
tough,
goes, I think it's 162 in a bad night.
bruh. I mean, I gotta be that guy. But that's gonna wrap up the college portion of the show, man. Got to get into this NFL. Y'all don't want to cut the NFL too short. We've been having
Mm.
people talk about it too much, man. I know, Cordell. I know, man. Look, speaking of Cordell, we're gonna talk about you first, dog. We're gonna get you out of the way.
What happened? Like,
Bengals got taken out by CJ Stroud. You know what happened, man. It was the Devin in the Lab show. CJ Stroud getting it done, leading the Texans to another game-winning drive. The kid cannot be stopped. Not
mm,
only is he the favorite for Offensive Rookie of the Year, he's almost
mm,
the favorite for the MVP. So
mm.
you tell me what happened.
I did watch
Um,
every snap of this game as well. This is actually a pretty fun game. I'm not gonna lie. Uh, man, man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. I thought Joe Burrow was gonna come out kind of how he did against the Bills, especially just they came out on fire, but they scored on the first two drives. They were hot. They knew they were gonna do that against the Bills. So I kind of
mhm.
expected him to come out a little bit better. Jamar Chase didn't have a good game against the Bills, so I really was like, for sure, Jamar Chase was going to come out and eat up. But the
Yeah.
Texans defense did a good job keeping all that bottled up. I think the Bengals went, I think it was 5 drives straight without scoring a point, and then they got the little field goal. So it was like 20-10. CJ did throw an interception that gave the Bengals a little bit of a chance. People were scared, but then he ended up putting the game away. So uh, it's not tough for the Bengals, but it does sting a little bit because knowing that the whole division is where it's at, like everybody's in the playoff. The Ravens did just lose, so you did kind of get bailed out with that. Like not everybody won, but
Facts.
the Browns and the Steelers were able to pull it off. So Deshaun Watson just got that season-ending news. That's tough, but you feel me? You still want that win, but like you want to be the second team in the division, kind of take that little sigh of relief. We can buy that loss now. Now that we got that win, but you know, now you took that loss a little bit too early, so now you got to get right back into here we go mode. So Cordero, y'all good. Y'all gonna make the playoffs. I feel like, especially with the injury to Deshaun Watson. I feel like the Browns are gonna fall out. I don't think the Steelers is gonna be able to keep up the winning that they're doing. They might, but I don't think Kenny Pickett's gonna be able to keep it up. So I think the Bengals straight. That was a tough loss though. C.J. Stroud, but he exposed some things in y'all defense that I'm sure y'all defensive coordinator is definitely gonna be getting on their ass in film about. Like, hey, this is what happens when we see a good quarterback. Like we got a lot to clean up. So
Facts. Man, I'm jumping around to these games, not really gonna go in order, gonna cover. I want to cover another one of our loyal listeners, Dale, your Broncos. Look, these Broncos, man, the only reason I'm bringing up the Broncos too is despite Cam. Look, man,
wow.
Broncos taking out the Bills. Look, y'all, I was real high on the Bills last year. So to really be making fun of the Bills, maybe I'm the fake fan, but it's only because I seen what the Bills were when we lost to Pat Mahomes and them again. Like when we didn't put up a fight, I knew the Bills' true colors, and
I'm so
it's only
sorry.
boiling over to this year. Like now, last year we were just gonna play really good but lose the big game. Now we're not even gonna play good and we're gonna lose the game you thought we were supposed to win. So it's one of those things where I don't even want to hype up the Broncos too much. I just want to shit on the Bills a little because it's like, bro, what are we doing? James Cook did end up with 109 yards that game. I'm actually surprised they even gave James the ball 12 more times after he fumbled on the first play and was probably what just set the game in the motion for failure. Like not only did they I think they threw it. Did they throw a pick after that drive or did he almost throw a pick? I can't remember.
They
You
threw
were
two
telling me,
picks.
yeah, so fumble, pick, pick. Like, it just was all bad for the Bills. They did not get it going until it was too late. So honestly, when you play teams like this, shout out to the Broncos before I really get back onto the Bills. Shout out to the Broncos at least for winning the 2 games that everyone thought you weren't gonna fucking win. You beat the Chiefs, and then in the same next week after that, I don't know if y'all had a bye week in between, but I'm pretty sure it was just a week after that, y'all come in and y'all beat the Bills. So in Buffalo, nonetheless. So shout out
Well,
to
I
them,
think
but bro, the Bills, y'all gotta be better, man.
no, that's an understatement. Uh, okay. I want to start with Coach McDermott because I'm a Madden player. You feel me? Like the coin toss. This started with the coin toss, bro. You flip the coin, you elect to kick, so you can get the ball back at the start of the second half. You defend, stop them from scoring. You set yourself up
Yeah.
for success. When you elect to receive, you're literally trying to make a statement. Like, we're about to come out here, put 7 points on the board or 3 minimum, and we're about to come out here and we're about to set a statement. That's what you do. They
Mm-hmm.
elected to receive the ball first, Ken. Ken, they elected to receive the ball first and then fumbled on the first play of the game.
We didn't mean to fumble, bruh.
Even even when the Bills try to set the tone, they can't set the tone right now, bro. Like, it's literally all bad. So with that being said, dog, Gabe Davis, the ball, literally, the drive where it was like, okay, we fixed all the problems. We're marching down the field, 3rd down and like
Mm-hmm.
8. We're gonna take a field goal. All Gabe Davis has to do is either catch this ball or make sure it hits the ground. What does he do? Butterfingers into the air. Justin Simmons interception, who's been playing crazy good this year. He picked off Patrick Mahomes twice. Bro, it's just like, dog, like 2 turnovers right there. Josh Allen comes back out. I think it was 2 drives later. Throws the second interception. That's 3 turnovers in the first half. It's like, bro, there's there's not a quarterback in the NFL that's not going to take advantage of all those mistakes. This is the 6th week straight. Sorry, the Bills did recover a fumble this game. So it's not 6 weeks straight anymore that they didn't force a turnover, but it's
Mm.
5 weeks straight 6 weeks straight that they couldn't get an interception. And Josh Allen's thrown 2.
Mm.
He's thrown an interception and he's thrown at least 1 interception in the past 6 games, and the defense can't get one. So, like, bro, it's just every single stat that can be backwards is backwards right now. The rushing stats, the defensive line stats, we got injuries all over the place. It's like, bro, Buffalo right now, it is not Bills Mafia. We are back to the days where we were middle of the pack, bottom of the cellar. We're sitting here wondering if we got to play the Jets this week. We didn't fucking beat them. 5-4. Sorry.
Y'all are
We're
not
battling.
about
Yeah.
to.
And that's what I'm saying. We're fighting to be above 500 right now. You got Stephon Diggs and his brother going back and forth on Twitter, subtweeting each other, talking. Stephon Diggs tweeted, "Come and
No.
rescue me." Come on, bro. Come on,
Why did
bro.
he tweet that? You heard it?
Trayvon
Nah,
Diggs
because
tweeted,
what
"You
did
got to get
Trent say?
14 out of there."
Oh, he also tweeted, y'all act like bro wasn't good, or dude wasn't good before bro got there anyways. That's what he tweeted as
That's what he
well.
tweeted,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm
He was
saying,
talking about,
dog. Like,
or he wasn't throwing touchdowns, or he was saying, so he said something like that. He's like, bro wasn't good, or bro wasn't throwing touchdown, or dude wasn't good before bro got there. Gist of the
this
tweet.
is this is the this is literally the point in the Bills championship window. I'm being 100. Like, this is real. Like, this is the point in the championship window where either the little dynasty that you thought you had in the cusp of your hands either gets saved right now or it falls apart. And these next 3 weeks are literally it. You got the Jets, who you've already lost to, one of the best defenses in the league. You got the Chiefs and you got the Philadelphia Eagles. If we know we're probably not winning these games, but let's say we get somehow 2 of these games. We should beat the Jets. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like we shouldn't beat the Jets, bro. We should beat the Jets. So let's say we do get one of the other games over the Chiefs or the Patriots or Philadelphia Eagles. You have to go into literally playoff mode. Like every game is literally for the playoffs. We're gonna finish 12-5 if you win all 7 games right now.
Hmm.
What have what has anybody seen from the Bills that makes you think they're about to win all 7 of these games? Like they might not win fuck 2 of these bitches if you want to be honest. So
It's
it's
tough,
it's it's disaster mode right now, and this team, this roster can fall apart, bro. Like them tweets ain't just tweets, like them are real. You don't just fucking hop on. When Odell's dad came out and tweeted that shit, that was the end of the Baker Mayfield Browns as we knew them. Now they got Deshaun Watson,
bruh.
season-ending injury. They got a whole different roster. Nick Chubb, not the same. Like once he
Why
gets to
is the
social
top?
media, bro, it's tough. that
Why is the top
that's
five
been my
not top five fucking receiver tweeting? Like, bro, I ain't even trying to hate. Like, bro, you can't just. He's been setting this up for 3 years. The whole I'ma stand out here every time we lose and watch. Like, bro, what you gonna do? Go join the Bengals? Go join the Chiefs? Because that's what it looked like you gonna do.
I will say it does feel like even in the game last week that they won, it felt like, bruh, the team played really, really good. And Stephon Diggs, I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, but Stephon Diggs just was not, it didn't seem like he was really pumped up. Like, I'm just watching motherfuckers from the TV and seeing, he don't look like he's really happy to be there. But, like, you can just tell, bruh, like, you lose those 2 huge games against the Chiefs. You think you got a Super Bowl on the cusp of your hands, and then a little bit of the team breaks apart. The whole Damar Hamlin thing last year, we kind of got this little bug where we turn the ball over and everything right now. Like, bro, it gets frustrating when you're supposed to be the high and mighty Bills, the Buffalo Bills, a team that can come in here and score 40 on you and put you out of your misery. And then every single week, you're getting fucking barely covering spreads. We're barely on the field. Like Stephon Diggs is over there on the sideline waiting to get on the field damn near half of the game. And a lot of the first half, they are not out there. They come out in the
Mm-hmm.
second half, and that's when it's the Stephon Diggs show because they're fighting to stay alive. Bro, Buffalo, I'm done ranting. I'm damn near done betting with y'all. I'm damn near done. It's taken everything in me not to change the name of my fantasy team because I don't want to do my homie like that, bro. But I have CJ Stroud on my bench. And I'm really thinking about starting CJ Stroud this week because the team is so in a bad place. I cannot trust them to put Josh in a good position to go have a good fantasy game for me. He's the number one fantasy quarterback right now. That's how bad the last 3 weeks have been. So figure it out. That's it. It's either figure it out or watch this team fall apart. That's where you're at. Point blank, period.
Josh, you heard it, man. Look, another bounce around game. I do want to cover another one of our loyal listeners, man. I know, Locke, you don't even really be out there rocking with the Vikings all like that, but Kirk Cousins
Crazy.
ain't been out there for 2 weeks. Josh Dobbs show, man. Hawkinson had an amazing day, 11 catches, 134 yards. Man, listen, 27-19, Vikings take out the Saints. I thought the Saints were doing pretty good, and then they kind of just fell back into that middle thing. Winston's late interception. Did Jameis get in the game?
Oh no.
You asked for this last week.
I didn't
Don't
think
start because you asked for this
I didn't
last
think
week,
the
Kim.
interception I didn't think the interception legacy would live on, bro. I should have knew.
Okay,
Dog.
yeah, he's literally two touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Like he's good for it. Like, and it's crazy
I'm booking it.
because I'm confused now when he went in the game because Derek Carr was 13 for 18, 110 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but he was sacked 2 times for like 12 hurries.
Sheesh.
So,
Sheesh. Running for his
but
life.
James, and he had a 23 QBR, and then Jameis Winston was 13 for 25, 122 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1 sack, 5 hurries, and 33 QBR. So,
That's so bad. Oh my god, that's such a bad quarterback rating, bro. Okay. The
I'm
Vikings.
weak.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
I told you guys so again, but dog, I told y'all so. The Vikings are going to the playoffs. I honestly, I don't know how.
wow.
I don't know how I feel about the Josh Dobbs thing, bro. I'll be honest. Like I feel like at some point Josh Dobbs has to come a little bit back down to earth. But then again, bro, like he is not, and he has weapons, and it's crazy because I don't. I know we haven't talked about the Browns yet, and I brought up Deshaun Watson like 3 times. Like season-ending injury. Josh Dobbs was the quarterback in Cleveland 2 years ago. Like
Mm-hmm.
they got PJ Walker out there. They looked at the quarterback room. They said, you know what? We good. They let Josh Dobbs go because they knew they was probably have to go give him a little pretty of a penny. They let him go to Arizona. He ended up getting the chance out there, balled out a little bit, gets the trade to Minnesota with some weapons, and boom. They're looking like they're about to be one of the best teams. Well, I won't say that. They're one of the hottest teams in the league right now with him at the helm. And it's like the
Facts.
Browns just lost their quarterback. It would be so nice to be throwing Josh Dobbs in there right now. It would be so nice to know like you got that coming in with Kareem Hunt, not Nick Chubb, but you got Amari Cooper out there. You got something to work with in that defense.
Yeah.
Oh, Josh Dobbs, crazy story. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not all into it. I'm not all super duper. Oh, Josh Dobbs, but hey, kids out there balling. Minnesota has the weapons that any team would love to have to go on a playoff run, which I feel like they can, especially in the NFC. I think you're gonna see them there. They gotta win the games though, and that's the tough part. So we'll see how it rolls.
Man, it is crazy. We did say word for word that the Vikings could easily be right here in this position. They could easily be 6-4. And I was
They were
about to
two
pull
and
up the
four when
clip,
we
but
said it. They
yeah.
were 2-4 when we
No,
said
they're
it.
1-4. 1-4. Yeah.
Oh,
Because they had
it
just
was
lost.
one and
They
four
beat
when
the
we said it.
Panthers, and then they lost to the Chiefs. And then we were looking at the schedule, and then the only hiccup on their schedule was the what's it called? The Niners. But that's when Kirk Cousins was still healthy. I think Jay Jettis might have still been around at the time. So like,
Yeah, and Kirk Cousins had an MVP. No, Jay Jettis was not. Wait, I think Jay Jettis got hurt that game, but I bet with Christian McCaffrey to get like 50 yards, and he didn't get it. I was heated.
yeah, so beat the Bears, beat the Niners, beat the Packers, beat the Falcons, beat the Saints. Now we're going up against the man beater in the Broncos next week, and we gotta wonder, do the Broncos get 3 in a row
No,
against some of the hottest teams in the league? Guys, trap game, you gotta wonder. But then they play the Bears, Raiders, Bengals, Lions, Packers, Lions. So, I mean, they got 3 divisional games at the end of the season, which are really going to lean. I mean, and the Bears, I forgot about them. But I mean, like, I doubt the Bears get a dub that week. If they do, that could be the trap game. I could see the Vikings beating the Broncos, then losing to the Bears when Justin Fields comes back. Because Justin Fields is activated as healthy this week. I'm so tired of seeing Tyson Bagent. I'm so tired of. I'm not gonna say I'm tired of seeing CJ doing good while Justin Fields is not, but if I had to choose either of the two, I would always choose Justin over CJ as far as a college quarterback goes. As far as NFL, now I'm not sure. Now I'm not even sure, bro. But I want to move forward. I want to get to some of the rest of these games. We did have the Panthers versus the Bears on Thursday Night Football. Pretty boring, pedestrian game. Like I said, Bagent, though. Bagent getting 2 dubs. That's more than Justin had in the past 2 years. No, I think Justin won 2
Tough.
games last year, if I'm not mistaken. So just right around the same amount of wins as Justin Fields. I mean, they're making memes that Justin Fields is actually the one coaching and not the coach. So
Yeah.
maybe Justin needs to be on that sideline a little bit more. Not seriously,
Nah.
but
The Bears. It's
and the Bears. Before you say that, I just want to say the Bears did increase their odds to get the number 1 draft pick by beating the Panthers because they own the Panthers pick.
yep.
So
They own the Panthers pick.
So had they lost to the Panthers, they quite literally would have gave themselves worse odds to get the first pick in the draft. So they beat them and they increased their odds to get the first pick in the draft.
Finesse. They also would have the 5th pick with their pick if it ended right now. So you're lining yourself up to be pretty good. I mean, obviously you want to play better. At the same time, like at this point, it's It's not talent. It's offensive line and it's coaching. And like those are two hard things to fix in the NFL. It's not easy to just overnight turn that into okay, we're good. But at some point, brother, we do have to address the play calling that we're getting because it seems like with Tyson Bagent, he was kind of put in better positions that Justin Fields either was not put in or did not take advantage of when he was put in that position. So you got to address that. Like, just seems like Tyson Bagent just had a couple more looks that Justin Fields doesn't normally get. And on the flip
Mm-hmm.
side of it, I just feel like, bro, that you kind of got to look at what this team is with a different quarterback, with a different style of quarter. Tyson Bagent didn't do anything special. He got 2 wins. Like, you basically just learned this team is good enough to go out there and win without the player they drafted to be the face of all this. So, right,
Facts.
getting your guy back, load the chopper up. Let's go. Like this is it. Let's get some good games out of this. Get some good games out of the win. Let's stop being the laughing stock of the league. Let's start covering some spreads. Let's start shocking some teams. Like we can do what the Broncos are doing. Like we're not as bottom of the barrel as everyone likes to make us sound. Like DJ Moore can easily go out here and have 100 yards every single week.
Mm.
We can run the ball pretty damn good with Justin Fields especially and Deontay Foreman coming in. So, bro, at some point, bro, Chicago has to get it together because it is frustrating watching this team go out there and just fumble this bag that they have with Justin Fields right now. Now we got all these ESPN heads talking about, oh, well, they can trade Justin Fields for all this and get Caleb Williams and start over. And it's like, come on, like set my guy up for success, man. Like I get it. He hasn't won a lot of games out there in Chicago. Come on, bro. He's not that bad.
Facts. He's not that bad, folks. Cut him some slack, Justin. He's doing. I mean, he's gonna come back. He's gonna do a little bit better. I like that though. I kind of like that they're trying to still. I wouldn't say apply pressure. That's not the right word I want to use. But like, you want to put pressure on the kid, bro. You got to put pressure on him to be better. So if they leak some news rumors about Caleb Williams coming out there, even if they aren't true, like maybe it's for the best for now. But moving forward, we had I think our last game in our last I was gonna say foreign game, but our last like world game or what do you want to call it? International
Over.
game.
Yep.
Yeah, overseas. We got Colts, Patriots playing in Germany. Colts taking out the Patriots. I literally bet I because I was watching the game and literally before the game, like seconds before the game started, the announcer lady was talking about how Jonathan Taylor was saying today was going to be a better day. Granted, he wasn't even leading rusher of the game, but he did go over on his yards. And not only did he go over on his yards, he also scored a touchdown, the touchdown of the game, actually, the only touchdown of the game. And it came in the first quarter. So you got to shout out to Justin Taylor, Jonathan. I'm calling him a whole different name, man. But Colts, like I said, 10-6, ended up taking out the Patriots. It was a real pedestrian game for an international game. Sorry I had to see that out there in Germany. But he won me a little bit of money, man. It's good to see him trying to get back on track. 23 carries for 69 yards. I'd hardly call that back on track, but it's a start.
For sure.
When you score the only touchdown in the game, it's got to be worth something, right?
For sure. I mean, at that point, shit, you was the only guy that we could really bet on for some cheese.
Mm.
I don't even got a lot to add on to that, bro. I think you hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah, I mean, Mac Jones, Demario Douglas did have a good day, and then so did Ramondre. Like they just didn't
Yeah,
win the game,
Demario,
which sucks.
Demario snuck up. I don't know. I picked him up in fantasy. I haven't used him yet, bro, but he had some good weeks on my bench. I've been looking at him lately, but
And Bill Belichick did let Bailey Zappi go in there for like the last play of the game and throw the game winning or the game losing interception. I was kind of
oh
confused on
yeah,
that. Like the last drive, he threw Zappi in. I don't know if that was to punish Mac Jones or to make a statement like
well,
I'm
I'd
old, I don't know what's
seen
going on or
they asked. I forget exactly what Bailey Zappi said, but they asked him how he felt about going out there, and he said something along the lines of like, I don't know if he said I was pretty, or he said it was pretty crazy. There were some pretty crazy circumstances going on, but I just did the best with what I could. He said something along the lines like that. Like he acknowledged that it was pretty crazy that he was out there. Like so, like I seen that too. I was sitting there like, I don't know. Like I heard some ESPN talking heads saying this is probably Bill Belichick's last hoorah. Like they're doing the whole he needed Brady thing, and without Brady, he's been average and everything. Like I don't know. It does kind of feel like, bro, like this Patriots team is just it's the vision that Bill Belichick is trying to mastermind right now. I don't see it. I'll be honest. Like I love the coach. I love the guy. I think he's a great defensive mind. He can get the best out of those third round, fourth round receiver guys that you don't ever think are gonna pan out into anything. Like outside of
Mm-hmm.
that, bro, like this team is not panning out into anything, especially with Mac Jones at the helm. And you're taking this kid out and putting in Bailey Zappi to lose the game for you. Like, come on, bro. Like you're a Hall of Famer. You're literally a legendary. Like, hang it up, bro, and go out with a fucking with a great legacy. Like, don't let us watch you go out basically losing on the way out. They're talking about you might go be a GM and a coach somewhere else and have full GM authority because the Patriots won't give it to you. It's like, bro, don't do that, bro. Like, just ride off into the sunset. You feel me? Smoke a cigar. All 6 rings on your hands. Be the best coach ever. Like, just quit. It's over. It's done. I'm not trying to kick you out the league or nothing, bro. But this team ain't it, dog. And you're the president of team operations out there, so it's not like you can say, "Well, my GM isn't." Like, bro, you get a say in it. So come on, bro.
Wow.
Come on, come
My
on, Billy.
GM isn't whatsoever. No, I felt that though. Do feel that, Bill. You need to tighten up. I don't know what the fuck that Bailey Zappi shit was for. Like I said,
Mm.
I probably would have done the same thing. Like you kind of just, I mean, you got like if you need to punish your player, you do it in that moment, and you do it in the most embarrassing way for yourself a lot of times. And this is how it happens, bro. But you do it for the betterment of the fucking team. Like you're not about to just fuck all this up. I'll fuck it up myself. Go ahead, Bailey. And for
Yeah.
Bailey, when she asks about it, you say next man up and I got to be better next week. And you walk away from that fucking camera. Like, what the fuck? Like, I mean, it's the NFL, it's next man up. And, I just got to be better next week. Walk away. Make it
No, bro.
seem like you might be the starter.
Definitely some special circumstances going on right there, dog. Like y'all seen it.
No, Bailey,
Y'all seen it.
don't even try
Y'all
to
seen
stick
it.
up for Mac. Like, Mac ain't about to hit your locker like, cuz, can't even believe you just
Because
know, bruh.
I just went through the whole week probably hyping Mike. I was probably hyping Mac up before the game. Like, yeah, bro, you finna have a good game, bro. Like, let's go out there, do your thing. The next thing you know, Bill is tapping me on the shoulder. Hey, get out there and huh? Coach, I only get
Get
paid
the
like
fuck out there.
2.86 million, bro. I'm not even really if I get hurt, bro, I don't even know if I'm really insured, bro.
Hurt
Get out there. Like, come on, coach. It's for the
Bailey.
win.
You sound like you don't want a job.
It's not that I don't want a job, bro. It's normally like the back, okay, like you feel me? The backup quarterback standing there on the sideline. He might have his helmet hanging off his head, and then boom, like the quarterback gets hurt. Like now,
Mm.
the TV, the cameras are gonna put they're gonna zoom in on the quarterback. Oh my god! Like, they're probably gonna take a commercial break, come back, show the quarterback on the cart, and during that time, the backup has a little second to warm up the arm, get ready. I'm ready now. All right, I'm going in. Like I'm the backup quarterback. This is my job. But bro, when coach just looks at you like, what the fuck? Mac, Bailey. Like, what the whoa, 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 hold on, coach. Whoa, whoa. I did not sign up for this, bro. Like, I'm the second stringer. I'm supposed to have a script. Like, this is crazy, bro. So it's not on Bailey. He got put in a bad position. My boy just because that's gonna come back to bite
Anything can
Bailey when
happen
he's
in
lit.
Germany.
That's what I'm saying. But when Bailey goes to sit down for his next contract negotiation, but they're gonna ask him that about this. So what happened when you had a chance to win the game? and you sold. They're not even going to like, bro. I was sitting on the sideline the whole
Wow.
game, cold, bro. Like I just got threw in there, man.
It
Even the
was
pitchers got
warm
to hit
that day.
the pitchers got to hit the bullpen in the major leagues before they come out. But you don't just sub somebody. You don't just throw the pitcher out there, bro. Like you gonna let him
You
warm up.
needed to
You
hit
can't
the
just come on. And,
bullpen? Bailey, get in. Like, bro, what the fuck? This nigga probably had to grab his helmet. Like, he probably really was, huh? Like,
my helmet's over there.
no, bro,
Come
because
on.
he might have had the headset on. Like, bro, stop calling signs, take that headset off, and get in the game. Like, bro, no. All right, man, we got to move forward though. Look, Steelers taking out your Packers, 23-19. What's that all about, bro?
I thought the Packers were gonna win that game when we scored the touchdown. I was sick. The touchdown that gave us the lead late, and the Steelers just freaking were able to come back and put it away. That's soft. I won't lie. I'm sorry. Jordan Love threw 2 picks.
He did.
He threw 2 picks. He threw 2 picks. But they were to end the game though. Like it wasn't even like he just threw them. Like they were really to end the game. So like, bro, I don't want to say Jordan Love ain't the guy yet because that is early. I'm gonna give the kid some time, at least a season. Like it is. It's annoying seeing all these quarterbacks. We got C.J. Stroud. We got Bryce Young. We got Mac Jones. We got Trevor Lawrence. We got Justin Field. Like all these quarterbacks that ended up in different spots, and we took Jordan Love when we had Aaron Rodgers, who still had 2 MVPs left in him, and he sat behind all this time to get to this moment. And it's like underachieving. It's not what we thought it was going to be, and it's definitely not Packer worthy, if you ask me. So pick it up. We could have been in a lot better position, bro. Like, we could have been on a playoff chase. I'm not saying we're good enough to be better than the Lions or the Vikings. But like, we damn sure had the defense and the running game to do something this year. And Aaron Jones has been very underwhelming. Go Pack, go! But lately, it's been no Pack, no.
Man. Kenny Pickett with another pedestrian day, 126 yards. George Pickens only had 45 yards. If George Pickens doesn't have like over 50, 60 yards in the next few weeks, I'm just going to be so upset, bro. So upset.
He won't.
Wait, what? Moving
Whoa,
forward,
bro.
Buccaneers versus Titans, man. Buccaneers taking out the Titans. It's seeming like there's nothing else they can do out there. I think Will Levis might have started another game, but when you're going against Baker Mayfield, you're going to get outshadowed. Yep. Will Levis did start 199 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. Derrick Henry only 11 for 24. Derrick fucking Henry, Mr. 200 yards himself, is now just, I don't know, this is his second game with under 25 yards this season alone. So
It's a rough
I'm
go.
not going to say that they don't got a good ass D line. Like they got Levante Davis, he's a linebacker. I'm thinking. They got Devin White, Shaq Barrett, Winfield Jr. Like I'm just naming off names. They got guys.
What's homeboy's name?
Vita Vea.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. That's a good ass defense, but at some point, I don't know, bro. Derek, you just gotta wonder what is going on out there with Derek.
I feel like it's halfway got figured out. Halfway, that offense misses AJ Brown more than they thought it would, for sure. Like even though Ryan Tannehill was a little bit questionable, like just having AJ Brown out there on the threat, they kept the defense true. And like now they got Traylon Burks over there. They got D Hop. Like D Hop did have the one good game, but we haven't hit that same level that we was able to get to with the whole team, and I lost a little bit too much of that defense too. It's been downhill, like, bro, ever since we got that first seed and lost to the Bengals and let Joe Burrow become Joe Burrow that he is today. Yeah, like, bro, it's been like a kind of slow unravel. Like the Bills kind of just free fall. Like here we go, we're done. Like the Titans have just slowly unraveled, and like this whole season has kind of just been underwhelming for the whole team, let alone Derrick Henry. So they'll figure it out, hopefully. If not, might be seeing Derrick Henry somewhere else soon.
Man, oh man. And then after a rough couple of weeks, man, or after a rough few weeks, the 49ers bounced back against The Jaguars 34-3. Brock Purdy 296, 3 touchdowns. Christian McCaffrey 16 carries, 95 yards. George Kittle though 3 receptions, 116 yards and a touchdown. Doing it big again. Only needing 3 catches to do it. Crazy.
Brock
Just
Purdy.
crazy. Yeah, Brock. I'm just phased. You did come through this week on the fantasy quarterback. You're my fantasy quarterback this week. Had to put you in. Pat Mahomes, my auto, both out. But
Huh.
you stepped up when we needed you. So that's all I can say. I'll take it.
Yeah, I got Travis Etienne in fantasy. I'm salty the dang Jaguars went out there and looked like that just because they had a really good couple of weeks. They looked good against the Bills.
Thanks.
Looked pretty good over the past few weeks as a whole. Just kind of thought Travis Etienne was running the ball really well. So this was kind of like a test to see, like, are we really going to step up against the defense that can do something? And the offense was like, hell no, we're not about to do that. And the defense was like, hell no, we're not about to stop Christian McCaffrey or nobody. So tough night. Not the end of the world. Like, kind of a probably the slap in the face that you need for a team like that. Like, hey, yo, we still got a long way to go before we up there with any of those teams, and even in the NFC, let alone ours. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how it goes for the rest of the season. That whole division is just it's getting crazy down there. I ain't gonna cap.
Moving forward, man, we got the Browns versus Ravens. Browns taking out the Ravens 33-31. And crazy because it was Deshaun Watson's last game of the season. It seems like every time the Browns have a chance to make the playoffs, Deshaun just wants to fade away and dip out. And now the Browns are receiving so much ridicule for this contract, and Deshaun's not even gonna be here. I think he played. We got like what 4 weeks of Deshaun, maybe.
Yeah,
When we did so much sticking up for this kid over the offseason, it's not like it's his fault. I think he's going through a lot of actual ailments and injuries, mental health issues, things like that, whatever. But the real story in this game was how Mark Andrews lost me my $600 off of 2 yards. Couldn't get it done. Odell, though, did score another
oh,
touchdown in back-to-back weeks. Odell, 1 reception, 40 yards, and a touchdown. Okay, kid. Getting your money's
sheesh.
worth, but Mark Andrews can have a 36-yard reception, but can't get 46 yards, folks. I mean, you don't ask for too much, but I asked for a lot from him
It's a
that
lot.
day. Yeah. I know Lamar's beating himself up. Could have went to 8-2, best record in the league. Moving to 7-3, though. Still seeing the Ravens making it far, but now everybody's starting to turn their head again and wonder, can the Ravens actually go to the bowl?
Yeah, they can. It is going to take a lot to get there, and you do wonder if this receiver play is going to stay where it's at. But other than that, you got the quarterback, got the defense. There's not really a team that's looking like they'll destroy us on the way there in the AFC. Like we kind of look like that team that everybody should be kind of scared of. So
Hmm.
yeah, you keep Lamar Jackson on schedule and everything. You don't got to worry about putting him in too many positions to throw the ball. You should be fine. Honestly, it shouldn't be a team that scares you too bad. Might just lose a close game in the playoffs on some shit, but won't be too mad at that.
Facts. Next, we got Cardinals, Falcons. It was the Kyler Murray return game, and they say, I mean, not they say, he did have a game winning drive, but I mean, he struggled in this game. I mean, 249 and an interception. It's not going to look like he struggled, but if you really watch that game, it just did not look good with his first coming back. I mean, McBride, he got his tight end involved, 8 receptions, 131 yards. Couldn't link up with his favorite receiver and Marquise Brown, only one time for 28 yards. And I don't know. I think Heineke played this game. Ritter played this game as well. I don't know. I think Arthur Smith is just trying to lose games at this point. Can't get it figured out with his running backs. Can't really get it figured out with his receivers. I mean, can't really get it figured out with his quarterbacks. It's just tough. You got one receiver in Drake London. You got 2 running backs in Algier and Bijan, and you don't know which weeks to start them on. And then You got Ritter and Heineke, and now you're sharing snaps between those two guys. So,
And two
like,
really
if
good
Ritter's
tight ends, so
injured,
you can't.
it's one thing, but oh yeah, then you got Jonnu and Kyle Pitts, and you can't find a way to get either of them involved.
I mean, at that point, obviously Arthur Smith is the coach of the whole operation, but like the offensive coordinator is coordinating the offense. So, bro,
Facts.
They just let Ken Dorsey go in Buffalo, and like I'll be honest, bro, like yeah, they did need to do something out there to kind of calm the fans down, calm the media down, and everything, and probably fire Ken Dorsey. But like at the same time, bro, that's a short ass leash they had with him, and like all the names we just said, I'm sorry, bro. Like this team should be if I'm just gonna throw CJ Stroud in there just because of how good he's doing. But like just if CJ
Mm-hmm.
Stroud is the quarterback of this offense, ridiculous. Like ridiculous. We probably wouldn't be able to bet with them the way we can't bet with North Carolina in college. Like actually ridiculousness. There's at some point, bro, the offensive coordinator has to find a way to get results out of this offense. Does not matter who's at the helm. It does not matter if it's Taylor or Desmond Ritter. Like, you have the names. Get the ball in their hands. Like, Marvin Harrison was struggling this year. Kyle McCord was the one struggling this year. Sorry. Couldn't get the ball to Marvin Harrison throwing the ball. What do? They got him the ball in the short game. They got him the ball, handing him the ball off last week. They really started running drags with him and getting the ball in the screen game. Like at some point, bro, you
Mm-hmm.
just gotta say, okay, I'm the offensive coordinator. I'm gonna put my quarterback in a position to succeed. 5 yard passes, 3 yard slants, 5 yard outs, passes that you've been throwing your whole life, so that you can get going early in the games. And when we do take that deep shot and it don't hit, it doesn't feel like, damn, this kid sucks. It feels like, okay, that's one shot. Let's keep this game rolling. We'll see. Like, bro, it is frustrating, dog, because Desmond Ritter don't look like the guy. Taylor Heineke gets another shot. I'm not hating on it, but it is like, what are we trying out here? All this talent,
Mm-hmm.
all these skill positions that we got filled, and just looking like we're about to let this all sail by because we can't figure it out.
Okay. Next, a close ass game. It was the Chargers versus the Lions. Lions getting it done, showing why they're really one of the best teams in the league right now. Jared Goff, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns. David Montgomery, 12 carries, 116 yards, and a touchdown. Pretty sure Jameer had 77 yards and 2 touchdowns. So just a really lethal day for the rushing game. I was scared if David came back, they take away touches from Jameer, but it seems like, I mean, they're just going to get it with both of them. And probably Keenan Allen's best game in the past 2 years, 11 receptions, 175 yards, and 2 touchdowns, but it just wasn't enough to get the job done.
The Chargers defense does suck, so uh, I wonder if the Lions will be able to run like that with both of them all year. Uh, but outside of that, good win for the Lions, obviously. But Jared Goff, 300 yards. Would be nice to see you get 3 touchdowns. I ain't gonna lie, 2 touchdowns ain't bad, but it would be nice to see you throw that little third one in there. I don't know how I feel about the Jameer Gibbs David Montgomery situation because like David Montgomery is obviously just more experienced and everything. He's seen more of the league. But, like Jameer Gibbs, I don't know. I just feel like he has the runs that are least effective more often. But it's like, man, when he
Mm-hmm.
gets those runs that pop, he can break 3, 4 tackles and keep going. Like David Montgomery, it feels like never gets that. He's just kind of a bowling ball until he gets taken down. So I don't know. I obviously get it. You don't want to especially a rookie. You don't want to run Jameer Gibbs into the ground this first year just because the team is good and you want to run the ball. So use David. He's a veteran. Get him in there. Show the kid how it's done. Same time, though, it's like, man, my boy Jameer Gibbs is out there cutting up. Like, he could be leaving some of these games with 150 yards, like, having a little
Okay.
Jonathan Taylor, Brees Hall type season. So I don't know. I feel like they could figure that out a little bit better.
Facts, man. Next, I want to talk about the Dallas Cowboys versus the Giants, man. Second time these teams met. Giants almost shutting them out 2 games in a row or 2 times in the same year. But Tommy DeVito ended up coming in throwing 2 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. Tommy DeVito, I said it just sounds and looks like just a storybook kid who won the shot and now is getting a chance to play for the New York Giants. The New York kid, homegrown, like
Mhm.
last name DeVito. Like, come on, guys. But it's nothing to talk about DeVito when Dak Prescott is out there. 5 all-purpose touchdowns, 4 through the air, 1 interception, 400 yards, and he had a rushing touchdown. Like the kid, the guy, the man, the myth, the $40 million legend was all over the place.
Unfazed.
But it was his teammate in CeeDee Lamb who actually got offensive player of the week, because Brandon Cooks 9 receptions, 173 yards and a touchdown, but CeeDee Lamb 11 receptions, 151 yards and a touchdown. But CeeDee Lamb also had a rushing touchdown.
Didn't know that. I seen something that said, for all the betting people out there, probably not a lot, but I did see something that said CD could be a little bit of a sneaky play for Offensive Player of the Year just because he's quietly been putting up crazy stats, and if these other guys quiet down, might sneak in there. So, little play, but Dak Prescott also definitely picked it up these past like 5 weeks, I'll say. Like, that the start of that season was bad, especially when he went up against the Cardinals. They lost that damn game. He looked terrible against the Eagles. Not the Eagles, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
The 49ers, who he looked terrible against. But he went up against the Eagles. He looked pretty damn good. Thought they literally probably wasn't a touchdown, but literally as close to winning that game as you can get against the Eagles. Bounced back this week. They smashed the Chargers. They made that look easy. They made Justin Herbert look bad. So like the Dallas Cowboys, as bad as they looked in that little 3-week stretch where they lost to the Cardinals and got smashed off by the 49ers, shit, there's not really too many blunders on their schedule. They might be sitting right there pretty to go make that run in the playoffs that we all thought they could make.
They'll definitely get there, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Dallas has a lot more things to overcome.
Mm.
Um, Moving forward, though, I want to talk about Seahawks Commanders. Brian Robinson, man, that the guy was out there trying to do it all, at least through the air. 6 receptions, 119 yards, and a touchdown, but it wasn't enough as Geno and the Seahawks go on with a walk-off field goal to win the game. Geno Smith, 369 yards, 2 touchdowns, still has yet to write back. 6-3, not doing too bad whatsoever. I watched a little bit of this game. I was just kind of upset because I thought Kenneth Walker, with the fact that we just got rid of our 2 best pass rushers, our 2 best D linemen, and Montez Sweat and Chase Young, you would think the guy would have a way better day rushing against that Washington D line, but it wasn't that good of a day. I mean, it wasn't that crazy, but it was just an average day for Walker. So I would have liked to see him have a better game, but I mean, Geno stepped up where he needed to and easily, ended up just taking them out. The Niners, or why do I keep saying the Niners? The Commanders.
Yeah, wasn't able to win in fantasy with Tyler Lockett had a really good game. Freaking needed all that from him. But the Seahawks quietly, also another team in the NFC making a little push. That, I'm not saying they'll beat anybody in the playoffs, but they ain't a slouch. And like you just said, Kenneth Walker didn't even have that good of a game and still were able to find the win. So if he gets to running the ball like any level he was last year, that team gets scary as hell. Especially with the addition of Jackson Smith and Jigba. You feel me? Like,
Mm-hmm.
they got 3 maybe top 40 wide receivers in the league right now. So I'm not saying I don't think they'll go on a run. Like, I do feel like they might start taking some losses here soon just because they haven't looked as comfortable as they did last year in the losses they did take. But as long as you're still winning in this league, you're still winning, the results coming. So Pete Carroll, goated ass coach, bro. Got to beat him.
Facts. Last game, last but not least, we got Jets Raiders. Everybody thought the Jets were gonna get it done, but Zach Wilson ended up throwing another game-winning or game-losing interception. Sorry, Zach. But it was Josh Jacobs was the real star with 27 carries, 116 yards. And now they're 2-0 under Pierce. They did get a new coach. They got rid of Gruden. Or they got rid of McDaniels, excuse me. They've been got rid of Gruden. They got rid of McDaniels. So they're 2-0 under the new coach or the interim head coach or whatever. So things may or may not be looking up out there for Raider Nation. But as of right now, I think they're trending up. McConnell actually was able to get Davante Adams involved. So I think that was big. That was huge. Davante Adams had 86 yards. So I think if they can continue to actually get Adams involved and just start, I wouldn't say start relying on him, but start relying on more of the talent that they already have. They have a great defense. They have good offensive weapons. They just need to keep pushing the buttons and not stepping off the gas. Like, yeah, you got Aiden and this guy is just another Badgett, another just kid who's random, but he's better. He might be better than Jimmy G when it's all said and done. So,
yeah, hell yeah. It's kind of another situation where it's like you want to see the coordinator be smart and find a way to get Davante Adams the ball, get Josh Jacobs going, like make it easy on the kid. Like he's coming into a situation where he's not a starter. He has no experience in the NFL. It's not an easy league to get adjusted to. So let's get the ball into the Pro Bowlers' hands and let them do what they do. So they did a little bit of that. It worked. Hopefully they can keep doing that. Like you just said, they might go on a little bit of a run. They're in a deep-ass AFC, so the playoffs might be a little bit far gone. I mean, they can easily turn the season around, like at least for the pride and everything, going to next year with a little bit of confidence behind Aiden O'Connell. He's not terrible. So the Jets, though, tough. Especially you get the win over the Bills. I don't think they beat the Chiefs. I know they beat somebody else they weren't supposed to beat, though. I think it was the Dolphins. But either way, you get these wins, and it's kind of like, okay, you realize your defense is good enough to stop these high uber offenses from doing anything when you play against them. So it's like every single game you've had the opportunity to put your offense out there and go get it. And it's like still we have not put it together. Even with Zach Wilson at the helm, I get it. Like the kid is not good. Same situation on that side of the ball, bro. Like at some point, bro, these coordinators gotta stop thinking about it so goddamn hard, bro. Like get Breece Hall the ball. Get Garrett Wilson the ball. Like, they're fucking gamers for a reason, bro. You drafted them so high for a reason. Like, stop overthinking. Stop trying to make Zach Wilson Aaron Rodgers. That's not him. Yeah, you worked on that all season. That was your game plan all off season. Like, I heard it before. Some of these coordinators and coaches, they'll rather lose playing their way than win playing the way they're supposed to play. So, some of them got a lot to learn, man. Like, that's why the Texans are winning, bro, because they just realized they got a good-ass quarterback, and they said, well, fuck it. We're not even about to care about Dameon Pierce for the rest of the year. Like, why would we do that? Like, we got C.J. Stroud, whose arm is golden. Let's just put him in position to hit his receivers all week and see where we're at the end of the game. And they've gotten 3 wins that they shouldn't have got. That's my rant, man. Raiders football, Jets football, game of the week. Monday night, it was 6-9 at some point. I don't think there was a touchdown scored to like the second half. Like, we got to do a better job scheduling these primetime games, guys. I'm going to sleep out here on Monday nights. Come on. Thank God basketball is on.
That's going to wrap it up, y'all, man. Masterclass of the week. I'm giving it back to CJ. Another game-winning week for him. God, hey, Noah Brown, over 150 yards again. I mean, want to give it to Noah, but you got to give it to CJ one more time. It's crazy, but if he gets it 3 weeks in a row, we got to give him MVP at this point, right? He's master classing.
I think
it's going to wrap it up, man.
I think mine has to go to the improbable, the one and only Dak Prescott. Another dub. Another.
Hey! Y'all heard it there first, man. I'm not gonna lie. If y'all would have heard 2 years ago how bad Cam was when they said Dak was gonna get 40 million, y'all probably wouldn't have even man. Dak deserves it. He deserves everything, man. Look, 400 yards, 5 all-purpose touchdowns. He still threw his pick, though. Still threw his pick. Man, you already know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe, comment, follow button, all of the above, man. We're going to be back next week. We're going to be doing it big, man. It's like, what, week 11 now? Week 10?
Something
Y'all
like
already
that.
know what it is. Yeah. College is heating up. Y'all know those award races we've been talking about in the playoffs. Y'all better stay tuned. And don't forget, we're going to be picking out these division winners. We're going to be getting back to this NBA soon, man.
Look,
Just wait on it.
life has been a little bit hard lately, bro. I looked up to the sky. I said, God, can you please give me a sign? Jim Harbaugh stole it, bro.
Peace.